Blumenthal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your willingness to serve, Mr. Phelan. I think you're very familiar with the firings that have taken place in the Defense Department already, the firings of some of the top military leaders, apparently based purely on an issue of political loyalty, not loyalty to the Constitution. Some of our most distinguished and dedicated leaders, including the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Chief of Staff of the Navy, Lisa Franchetti. Have you spoken to her?
I have not, Senator.
Do you plan to do so?
If confirmed, Senator, I'm happy to hear her views and understand her perspective on things. She obviously did that. I was not privy to the releases of those people.
You'd agree with me that she is a dedicated officer with an extraordinarily distinguished record of contributing to our country.
Yes.
In addition, the administration appears to be undertaking a first wave, part of a purge, an 8% slash to both the budget and defense workforce. I view it as a breathtaking act of disrespect. The administration has branded these positions as non-mission critical, and I don't know whether you're familiar with a memo on the fiscal year 2026 President's Budget relook that reveals the staggering implications of these decisions. Within its pages, somewhat buried, is a list of proposed reductions amounting to an 8% decimation of the existing FY26 budget estimate submission. It's a cut of $70 billion from the $876 billion defense budget. And to put it in perspective, the Pentagon spent only $100 million on DEI initiatives and approximately $600 million on climate-related programs. So combined, these expenditures are only about 0.1% of the defense budget, and yet there is this huge slashing cut plan that will cause 72,000 personnel to be cast aside, along with spending cuts of upwards of $70 billion. Do you support those kind of cuts?
Thank you for the question, Senator. As I understand it, it is the budget, these proposed budget cuts were put in for planning purposes and then to basically redirect assets from non-war fighting elements.
That's why I'm asking you, do you support those cuts?
Senator, I don't have enough familiarity with them to tell you whether I'd support them or not support them.
Well, would you walk into a corporation, you've taken over many, and you've turned them around, knowing that already a decision had been made to slash your workforce by 10% indiscriminately across the board, and you had no say in that decision?
Again, Senator, I'm not privy to how they got to their conclusions on this or what they did or what the criteria was, so it's difficult for me to comment on it.
Well, would you walk into a situation in a deal, you've done many, you've turned around corporations where there was a 10% slash in workforce before you even started?
Again, Senator, I don't, it's a hard question to answer because I think typically
you know, I think that is probably a no. I don't think any expert business person in your line of work would do it. Would you agree with me that the concerns about politicization of our armed services are well-founded given the kind of firings that we've seen?
Senator, I don't believe politicization should be in the military, and I don't believe those actions were politicization, but I don't know. Again, I wasn't part of them, and I've not had any discussions around them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Blumenthal. Senator Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Phelan, thank you for being willing to do this very important job. The Navy, in particular,